Matt Miguez has plenty on his mind, and he's ready to share it with the world. It's time to hear the Miguez Mindset.
Welcome back into the Miguez Mindset. Matt Miguez here, back after a long vacation for the 4th of July. And today we're going to spend some time talking about one of the local teams that we haven't gotten to yet. And that is, of course, the New Orleans Pelicans. Summer League getting ready to get underway this week. A very interesting roster was released over the weekend. We're going to dive into who's on their Summer League team, who stands out, who you should be looking out for. Plus, we'll talk about their Summer League schedule, and we'll even start doing a preview of the 2023-2024 season. So, when you look at the Pelicans Summer League roster, you're going to have some guys that were on the team last year. Dyson Daniels is going to return for a second year of Summer League play. E.J. Liddell, coming off of that ACL tear that he had in Summer League last year, he's back looking to, show what he did last year. He was very impressive before his ACL tear. You hope that he can reach his full potential. And then Darian Sebron, who was there last year out of NC State, he's going to return for a second consecutive season in the Summer League. But everybody else on this roster is a Summer League rookie. Going through it, obviously, your first-round draft pick, Jordan Hawkins, the 6'5", 195-pound guard out of Connecticut, a 38% three-point shooter at UConn, going to add much-needed shooting depth to this Pelicans roster. Trey Murphy did a lot of your three-point shooting last year. C.J. McCollum would contribute at times, but you need more consistency beyond the arc in today's NBA game. So the Pelicans decided to attack that in the draft. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe they tried to make a move or two in free agency to bolster that three-point shooting as well. Isaiah Brockington, a 6'4", 200-pound guard out of Iowa State. Again, another solid shooter. Iowa State played LSU in the NCAA tournament a couple years ago, and he was a great player along with Tyrese Halliburton, who is now in the NBA as well. Garrison Brooks, a 6'10", 240-pound forward/center out of Mississippi State. He had a strong SEC career as well. Tryout opportunity for him to make it into the next level. Jalen Crutcher, a 6'2", 175-pound guard out of Dayton. To be honest, don't really know much about him, but it looks like he's been given the opportunity to crack a NBA roster. So hopefully, he can show some signs of he deserves to be in a New Orleans Pelicans uniform. Liam Robbins is another name that sticks out. The Pelicans need center depth. Obviously, you have Jonas Valanciunas. You just got Cody Zeller in free agency. Liam Robbins comes in at 7 feet, 250 pounds out of Vanderbilt. He was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Strong athlete, great rebounder, and can finish around the rim. I really like this acquisition for the Pelicans. Got him as an undrafted free agent, and which is really surprising because how are you the SEC Defensive Player of the Year and you go undrafted? But I think Liam Robbins is going to add a lot to the Pelicans. Looking forward to see what he does in Summer League. And then the name that really jumped out to Lafayette fans. And that is, of course, Frank Bartley IV out of Louisiana, a 6'3", 215-pound guard, was absolutely dominant in his time in Lafayette, averaged 17.5 points a game in the Vermilion and White, helped lead UL to one of their best seasons in program history at 27-7. Of course, that season ended with a loss in the NIT to LSU. But since then, Frank has gone all over the world. He's played in Canada, Israel, Denmark, Germany, Spain, most recently playing in Italy. And now he's getting the opportunity to come back to the States for a bit and maybe find himself an opportunity in the NBA somewhere. Because here's the thing with the Summer League. Even if he doesn't make it with the Pelicans, he might catch an opportunity somewhere else. So this is a great opportunity for these young guys, the Frank Bartleys, the Isaiah Brockingtons, the Carlo Matkovics, the Kamaka Hepas, these guys that haven't gotten to play in the NBA yet, to show NBA scouts and NBA coaches, look, man, this is what I can do. And again, even if it's not the team that you were playing for in the Summer League, doesn't mean that you won't get an opportunity elsewhere. So definitely looking forward to this Pelicans Summer League roster. A lot of size on this roster. You got 2 6'10s, a 6'11, a 7-footer. Your shortest guy is 6'2. So you've got some good size on this Summer League roster. Looking forward to seeing what they can do. Their first game is going to be Friday against the Timberwolves at 3:30. Then they'll play again on Sunday against the Warriors. Next Tuesday against the Suns, and then next Thursday against the Hornets in the NBA Summer League before you get to the tournament play down the back stretch. Now, looking over to the 2023-2024 season. Look, you look at the Pelicans last year, and there was a lot of potential. There was a lot of promise. 29 games into the season, they were top 3 in the Western Conference, and things were starting to look really, really good. And then Zion Williamson got hurt again. And then Brandon Ingram got hurt again. And then CJ McCollum battled some injury issues as well. And things kind of started to fall off the rails there a little bit. And the Pelicans ended up making the play-in, lost their first play-in game, and they were out. But here's the thing that I took away from last season. When they're together, they're good. They're very good. The question becomes, how do you keep them all together? How do you keep everybody healthy at the same time? I know a lot of people don't like the idea of load management. Believe me, I'm not a fan of it either. But I think if the Pelicans want to find success, that's kind of going to be the route that they have to take. I think you're going to have to limit Zion and limit Brandon Ingram. They play 5 games, then you sit them for 1. You play 6 games, and then you sit them for 2. Or however you want to do it. The Pelicans have to find a way to keep those guys on the court as much as possible, whatever that looks like. Whether it's hey, Zion, tonight you're only going to play 30 minutes. Whatever you have to do to get it done, you need Zion and Brandon Ingram to play a combined 55 games together. That's the only way the Pelicans are going to be able to find success. So obviously you can't rest them both on the same night, but you have to find a way for this group to stay healthy because they proved last year that when they're healthy, they're good. Looking at the rest of the NBA, obviously the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference are going to be really good. Phoenix is going to be another wrecking ball as well with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. And now Bradley Beal. But then, you look around the West again, the Rockets are starting to look a little interesting. Dallas, obviously, with Luka and Kyrie is an interesting development. What does Memphis do with Ja Morant being out for as long as he is? And then, in the East, obviously, you have Boston, you have Miami, you have Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and then everybody else is just kind of like hanging around. Cleveland had a strong year last year with Donovan Mitchell, but how do they build on that? I know they got Max Strus in a sign and trade last week, but again, looking to see more out of Cleveland. But going back to the Pelicans as we kind of wrap up, look to your veterans to find momentum. CJ McCollum's just going to have to be better, plain and simple. Zion Williamson has to stay healthy. Brandon Ingram has to stay healthy. Maybe go make another move in free agency. I like the Cody Zeller move for center depth. Find a way to keep everybody on the floor for 55 games or more. If the Pelicans can do that, I think they could be a serious playoff contender and make a run at an NBA championship. Now, am I saying that the Pelicans are going to win an NBA championship? No. But do I think they can make a run for one? Yes. So we'll look at that more throughout the next couple of weeks as the NBA season gets ever so closer. Summer League getting already underway, but for the Pelicans, it gets underway on Friday over in Las Vegas. That's going to do it for this edition of the Miguez Mindset. We'll be back on Friday talking LSU baseball. Is Dylan Cruz the greatest Tiger ever? We'll do that Friday right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.